Make them wonder who smells so good. That's super easy, right? Just go to Sephora, Ulta, Douglas, and many of the other department stores and buy one of the fragrances that the salesperson is advising you to buy. It's going to be a new one and it's going to be good, right? And often that's not a bad idea. But what if you don't want to smell like anybody else? If you don't want to smell like the other guys, what do you do then if you still want to smell amazing? At that point, you could always go and get a niche fragrance and spend 3 times as much money. And of course, by all means, if your budget allows for that, then go right ahead. Another option for you is watch this video.
You keep your eyes open
for some of the fragrances that I have in this video, since all of the fragrance in this one will have them wonder who smells so good. I used to go out and buy the newest fragrances on the shelf in an effort to smell like no one else. I caution you from this approach, however, since this may lead you to spending a lot of money and you could end up with a collection of fragrances you don't really like. But I'm not judging, you do you. However, if you want some fragrances that have been tried and true, then stick around for these awesome fragrances in this list. These are all unique and beautiful. Some are new, some are older, some are even hard to find and perhaps even discontinued. So just do like I do. Set a notification on the ones that you like on your favorite websites, and when they become available, pow, pull that trigger. My first 2 are from the same designer called Gucci. While the Gucci line has many offerings, a lot of them are a little bit on the generic side. It's not always a bad thing. There is one, however, that always stood out for me, and it is the Gucci Guilty Absolute from 2017. It's an Alberto Maria's creation, and it's about as unique as it gets. While smelling fantastic in the cooler months, this is a leathery, woody accord with a good dose of earthiness. It's basically a patchouli, leather, and vetiver. Let's give it a spray here. There we go. It's a beautiful fragrance that will remind you like Band-Aids in the old days used to smell. Comforting and cozy, and it will absolutely make them wonder who smells so good. My second choice is also going to be a Gucci, and it is one of my favorites from the brand. It is going to be Gucci Intense Oud from 2016. This one right here. I love this bottle. It looks really nice. Great cap on it. You know, snaps real nice. It's also very heavy. Great bottle. It's a beautiful fragrance. Now don't run because this one has got the name Oud in it, or it's got the word Oud in it. It is a stellar fragrance that is sort of warm and ambery, somewhat spicy with a hint of soft oud. It almost smells a little bit floral, sort of veiled in wood and smoke. And to make this one even better, it is a stellar performer in protection and longevity. Now, of course, you could go with the original one, you know, the Gucci by Gucci. However, this one has changed a little bit over time, and it's not quite the same as it used to be with the new formulation. If you can find the older bottle when it says Gucci by Gucci on here instead of the Gucci Pour Homme, then it's going to be really wonderful. But it's going to be really hard to find. So I would just go with the Gucci Intense Oud. I really enjoy that one. Next up, I have a couple from Lalique. Of course, you could use any of the Encre Noirs here. All of them are unique and get compliments for sure. However, I picked a few different ones for this lineup. The first one is going to be Ombre Noir. This is a 2017 release. And when it came out, it barely got any hype at all, and therefore vanished almost as quickly as it came out. It isn't until recently that it started to pop up in various websites, and now it's starting to shine a little bit brighter. This is a masculine resinous cognac fragrance with a little bit of tobacco and spice. The top notes of fig, mint lend it a little bit of freshness. This one reminds me of my grandfather's house in Germany, how it used to smell in the winter mornings as the pipe tobacco and the cognac sort of settled in the background while the room was still mixed with the lovely aromatic leftovers of my grandmother's, kitchen. I do wish it performed a little bit better. It's not quite as good as I would like, but it's available, at a really good price like most Laliques. So, just spray on, as this one will guaranteed have them wonder. Beautiful tobacco and cognac fragrance. The second Lalique fragrance that I have is going to be Hommage Ombre Voyageur, released in 2014. Now I know this one has been a little while, but sometimes you have to go back a little to stand out. Hommage is a beautiful flanker to the original, which came out in 2012. Also a gorgeous fragrance, a little bit easier to find this one. It is also a great pickup if you want it a little bit on the fresher side, with florals like rock rose, violet, and there's some saffron combined with some pimento and some agarwood in this one. The Voyageur, however, is much darker with an earthy patchouli and a little bit of a cardamom with some vetiver and a woody papyrus note. To me, this one almost smells a little bit on the old world, sort of apothecary kind of way, stunning and unique. You just really can't stop smelling it. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. This one will guaranteed have them wonder who smells so good in sort of an old world medicinal way. Really beautiful. Another fragrance I just love walking up to and smelling is a fragrance that doesn't get much hype. I'm not really sure why, since I really think it's a perfect winter fragrance. Something to note here is that This Is Him by Zadig and Voltaire was created by Nathalie Larson and Aurélien Girard. Larson created some of the Lalique fragrances, and Girard had some Gucci fragrances. So here we are with a collaboration of those two master perfumers in creating Zadig and Voltaire's This Is Him from 2016. This is a gorgeous fragrance. It is a lovely vanilla with a lot of spices and a hint of smoke. I mean, for me personally, this is a perfect winter fragrance. But if this one is too much of a good thing for you and you want something a bit on the lighter side, but in the same sort of neighborhood, you could go with This Is Him Just Rock. Also a wonderful fragrance without the addition of smoke. It's a lighter take on this one right here. And you can wear Just Rock in the summertime and it would be perfectly okay, since it's a little bit lighter, but has a similar scent profile. Both of these smell absolutely wonderful. So if you love the scent profile, you could get this one for all year and you could get this one for the wintertime with the addition of smoke. Stellar fragrances, guaranteed to make them wonder who smells so good. Let's move on to another fragrance that will make them wonder, and it's going to be by Narciso Rodriguez. Narciso got a lot of love recently with the Iris release for him, Blue Noir 2022. It's a great fragrance for you out there who want, a fragrance that smells like Dior Homme Intense. I think it's right here. Dior Homme Intense 2011, stuff like that. It has that iris in there. My focus in this list, however, is to make them wonder. And that's exactly what you will do with the original Blue Noir. While the parfum will remind you of Dior's, Valentino, Givenchy Iris fragrances, this Blue Noir Eau de Toilette from 2015 is a beautiful, unique fragrance in the style of the Declaration from Cartier, with a dose of nutmeg and ebony wood. Gorgeous. Despite the fact that it is called Blue Noir, I do not think this is a blue fragrance at all. It will have them wondering for sure. Right after I said, hey, I don't want to do a new one. I want to do something that's a little bit more unique. This one right here that I have next is actually a brand new one. It just came out in 2023. But it has a little bit of an old school touch, so I didn't mind putting it in here. And it is going to be Hugo Boss Bottled Elixir, one of the most unique fragrances released in 2023. What a gorgeous fragrance. This elixir completely deviates from the Boss Bottled, line. It creates, a league of its own. It is resinous, it has some frankincense in there. There's some patchouli veiled in labdanum. Perfect release for these guys. Unique, beautiful, with stellar performance, projection, and longevity. One of my favorite releases in 2023. What do you think so far? How am I doing? Let me know in the comments. And while you're down there, hit the like button and subscribe. Remember, our fragrance journey begins with but one single scent. I picked the next one because of the unique combination of notes in this fragrance and in the name. It is Mancera. So it's kind of a niche fragrance, I would guess, but you can buy this one usually for a good price, especially online. And this is going to be Mancera Aoud Lemon Mint, released in 2016. This is also mostly for the summer, although I will wear a Mancera fragrance, or this one right here, in the winter, because most of the Mancera fragrances are going to be pretty strong and wear really well when it's, cooler outside. It is a good performer, like most Mancera fragrances. It also will pop up on sites every now and then. Oud Lemon Mint is not a minty fragrance to my nose at all. It is more of a citrus floral with a creamy almond in it. It seems like the notes of agarwood and patchouli sort of want to push through this fragrance, but the base notes of musk, leather, and vetiver are holding on to it. So there's a little bit of a fight back and forth. It's a little fresher and then it's deeper, it's fresher and it's deeper. It's quite wonderful, and it's definitely a unique one. And you can usually find this one online, at the sellers for a good price. All throughout the year. It will sell out in the summer. It's a nice summer fragrance, and it will definitely make them wonder who smells so good. With most fragrances being overly sweet and somewhat generic nowadays, I miss the unique thrill of fragrances that they used to have. I guess this is one of the reasons why I came up with this list. I do have one new one to me that I recently discovered. It's not new, but it's new to me. And it is the Nuit des Parfums from 2015 from Issey Miyake. As far as uniqueness concerned, you could literally add any of the Miyake fragrances and it would work here because they're really, really great. Underrated in my opinion. What draws me to this particular one is the simplicity of the notes. You're going to have grapefruit, pepper, leather, vanilla, patchouli, and tonka bean. And here you are done already. Not a lot of notes, nor anything exotic really. Still, it has an enormous amount of character and depth, almost to the degree of less is more. Really beautiful. It is dark, it is sweet, it is elegant. Unfortunately, this perfume concentration is going to be a little bit harder to find, and the EDT is not quite as good, but really more readily available. But keep your eyes out for the parfum, since this one will surely make them wonder. It's such a good one, despite the simplicity of the notes. Many of you will have forgotten about this next one, since everyone talks about, the new extreme or the parfum version nowadays. I'm talking about Tom Ford's Original Noir from 2012. This one right here. Oh yeah. Stellar old school fragrance along the lines of Prada's Amber Pour Homme Intense. If you like Prada Amber Pour Homme Intense, then this is a fantastic fragrance from 2012 in a Tom Ford kind of way. Classic notes of geranium. There's some rose in here, sage, even the loved lemon verbena is in this one. All that is wrapped up in 3 kinds of resins and a little bit of leather, crowned with some violet iris and some delicious vanilla. This is a unique old school vibe and a timeless fragrance that will keep them wondering, oh my God, who smells so good? I hope this has helped you out a little bit. Until next time, I want you to take good care of yourself. Always smell nice, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.